Hi there, it's Farah, day 64 of the 90-day mental, emotional, spiritual well-being series. How good are you at planning? How good are you at planning? Do you like planning? Do you live for planning, or are you kind of a last minute person and it will get done. Don't rush me, it will get done. Know where you are on that scale. It's really pretty important to know. You instinctively probably do know if you're the kind of person that likes to, if you've got an event coming up, if there's a project that you need to do or hand in, if there's people coming for dinner, if there's something going on, right? There's a future event that's happening and you want to know that date in advance. You want that certainty. You want to know when it is, how many people are going to be there, what time it's going to be, or where you need to be, where it's going to be, what time it starts, how far away it is. You've got a whole load of what, why, how, when questions. And you want the answers to those up front, because then you can start planning and preparing and creating a schedule or steps, or just having things done in advance, because you don't like the last minute rush. You don't like being under pressure, under stress, having to navigate changing and adapting and having a plan B or a contingency. You want to know as much as you can right now so that you can start thinking about it, making the calls you need to make, contacting people you need to contact, carving out your own time and day, scheduling it, having a diary, planning it all in, timetabling it. You want to know all that information. If you're not so much of a planner, if you are more of, I work great under pressure, I'll get it done, don't worry, I thrive on that rush, I can work better when I know that I've got a deadline, more of that kind of last minute, just I work better when I've got my intuitive and creative juices flowing and I can just be in the moment and get the thing done. If that is your style, whatever your style is, it's fine unless it's not fine. And there's no right or wrong. There's no one better than the other. It's quite good to be quite, like if you deal with pressure well and you quite like kind of going, okay, great. I've got to do this thing and I've got 2 hours to do it in, right? I mean, a lot of the time when you look at competitions or things going on, say they've got to produce something within 2 hours. That's it. The timer is on and you go. But what's happened before that? If it's an exam, if it's a test, if it's a competition, you would have done some practice before, right? You would have done plenty of practice before, and you would have timed yourself, gone through different kind of trials and tested it and just thought, okay, well, that didn't work, I've got to try it again. Maybe you're sitting an exam and you finish way too early and it's like, okay, where didn't I allocate enough time, or what did I miss out, or how are you feeling? What's your actual state in to finish the exam early? And if you overran, if you thought, oh my goodness, I didn't have enough time, where were you spending too much time, too much detail, too much thought? So you do all of these practice runs before the actual event. If you've got a dinner party, some friends coming over for dinner and they're going to come at 7 o'clock in the evening, when do you start planning? When do you start cooking? When do you start cleaning and tidying and making the house look good and smell good and getting yourself ready and tidying everything up? When does that all start? Is it the day before? Is it even further than that? Is it on the day? Is it 3 hours before? Okay, so we have to plan, okay? If you're going on a trip, right, you need to know where it is, obviously, but how to get there. And we allow for contingencies. Planes going over all the time here, so someone's going away somewhere. So you allow for how long it's going to take for you to get to the airport or the train station, and allow for traffic. So we always build in these buffers. And the point of really being on top of your planning is it reduces some of that stress, okay? You don't want to be stressed and anxious. You want to do as much as you can beforehand so that those things are crossed off. If you've got a habit, a pattern of constantly worrying about things, constantly looking for things to be perfect, then you know what, you are going to be disappointed, because there is no perfection. There's a whole kind of, these are all habits that we do, they're all patterns that we fall into. If we have this perfection streak, if we have this kind of, I need to know everything right now, and you can be quite rigid with knowing that and get quite angry or annoyed if things aren't going your way, because you don't have the flexibility. And on the other hand, if you kind of leave everything sort of last minute, you don't know who else that's going to impact. So that could be quite inconsiderate if there's other people. I mean, and you also want to give a really, good, hopefully a good impression of who you are and what you can do and come across. So there has to be this meeting in the middle somehow. But this is all about planning to reduce your anxiety, to reduce your stress, to minimize any blank periods, like when your mind just goes, I don't know what to do. So when you are in a creative state, when you've charged your body up, when you're feeling, yep, I'm ready for this, you're hydrated, you've had plenty of rest, you've got energy in your body, that is a time to sit down and look at a plan. Now you can do this in whatever style suits you. If you're a list person, or you want boxes, or you want to draw things out, or you want to speak into a dictaphone, whatever. If you want to into an audio, however your style is, get that written down, get that out there, get it outside of you. Look at your plan. Some people do 10-year plans, 5-year plans, 1-year plans. Obviously businesses will have different time periods for planning, but as an individual, maybe you can look at your plan for the week. Maybe you can look at the plan for the month. Start with that. Look at the month. Okay, so the month of August, what am I going to do in August? What are some things that I'd like to achieve or finish or complete or stop? Or what events are coming up? Diarize them, put them down in your diary. Okay, I've got a wedding on this date. I've got some friends coming over on this date. The rest of it is pretty blank. Or I've started something and I want to complete it by such and such a date. So really get real. If you aren't starting from where you are, meet yourself where you are. Okay, be very real and very honest. This is where I am right now. Look at your diary, look at your schedule. Get yourself a diary or a planner or a schedule, use it. Okay, put in some of those key dates and then engineer backwards. So okay, that's what you want to do that month. Okay, now bring it down. What do you want to do each week? It doesn't have to be super specific or super detailed or super strict, but you get a general outline. So if there is some shopping you need to do, if there is a non-negotiable date that you have to have, this course has got to be completed by a certain date, or the wedding is on a certain date, I need to have my outfit and arrange my travel and get my gift and whatever else it is you need to do, right? So you are not bringing it right to the wire, okay? Look at those dates as well. Look at those timings. When do things shut? When are things closed? What is outside of your control? You can only control what is inside of your control. So once you've done a monthly view, look at a weekly view, and then just look at a daily view. And it's a really good idea to do some planning, top and tail of the day. So at the start of the day, what are some non-negotiables that you want to get done that day, that you just must get done that day? Keep them quite short, very doable, enjoyable things that non-negotiable. And then look at the other things that you said that you wanted to do that day and set yourself chunks of time with breaks to get it done. At the end of the day, review that. Okay, what did I do? What gets carried forward? What didn't I do? Where did I lose that time? So planning is super important, regardless of your preference of being sort of last minute, under pressure, or much of a planner. Whatever your style is, it's fine, unless it's not fine, unless you want to change that, and I can help you with that with some really cool time techniques. But planning is a surefire way of just releasing some of that anxiety, releasing some of that stress, and inspiring you, giving you something to look forward to. So releasing some of that depression and down feeling as well. I hope that was useful, and I will see you in the next video. Get planning.